to be in the Antelope Valley today.
Jeffrey's in the Antelope Valley rallying volunteers for Democratic challenger George Whitesides, who is hoping to defeat Republican Congressman Mike Garcia. I was out there yesterday with them, and joining me now in studio is George Whitesides, Democratic candidate for Congress. Welcome. Good to see you.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thanks so much for being here. All right, you're relatively new to the scene, but not that new to people that know about space. Talk to us a little bit about your background, who you are.
Well, thanks a lot, and thanks for having me. So I'm a space guy, but more importantly, I'm a father and a problem solver, right? So what I'm trying to do is to bring common sense solutions to our community. I was chief of staff of NASA for the Obama administration. Then I moved out to the Antelope Valley to run a company called Virgin Galactic. We created 700 good local jobs out there. And the last few years, I've been focused on the wildfire problem, trying to think of ways we can protect our communities from the risk of wildfires and the challenges in the wildfire insurance market.
I know you didn't see it, but you were so on message that the 700 jobs came up exactly when you said it.
Okay, well, that's what we try to do in the space community.
You've got that talking point down. So let's talk about this weekend. Hakeem Jeffries, who is the Democratic leader, would be the speaker if the Democrats won, chose you and your district in this incredibly important weekend. What does that tell us about how important this district is?
Well, this is really where the control of the House of Representatives is going to come down to. We are a district right now that's represented by an extreme sort of right-wing MAGA guy named Mike Garcia, and he's anti-choice. He's voted against the economic interests of our community. And so what we want to do is to bring positive change so we can protect Social Security and Medicare. We can protect, the fundamental right of a woman to, control her own body, and that's what we're going to be working on over the next 3 weeks.
So when Mike Garcia first ran for Congress, he won by 333 votes, which is the closest race in the entire country at the time. You've said that's one vote per precinct.
Yeah.
The stakes are really high, and this thing right now polls basically show it's statistically a dead heat, a tie.
It's going to be really close, Alex. We might be a couple points up, but I mean, it's going to come down to, we're in the margin of error right now, which means that it's going to come down to the margin of effort, right? And so we've got to do the work right now. We had over 10,000 doors knocked this weekend, which is fantastic. We've got the grassroots energy, and now we need to drive to the finish to make sure that we're successful in November.
So anybody watching TV recently has heard your name a lot lately. There's ads that are positive, but then there's these negative ads that keep saying that you support George Gascon, the LA County District Attorney, referencing the fact that in the past you have donated to him. What's your take on George Gascon, and are you supporting him in his re-election?
I don't support him. I'm voting for Nathan Hochman this November. But let me just take a step back and say what we see here is that this is just a pattern of lying from Mike Garcia. He lied about his position on abortion. He's lying about his support for the Violence Against Women Act. He voted to decertify the presidential election, and he's been weak on law enforcement. He voted to cut $1 billion from the Department of Justice. He's called FBI agents Nazis, and I think it's just another example of him misrepresenting his views to the voters of our district.
But just on the Gascon thing, are you basically saying that you wish you got it a different way a few years ago?
I don't support George Gascon, and I've been one of the first Democrats to come out in favor of the repeal of Prop 47. I took a little abuse from folks in my party, but I'll always step up for the right thing to do for my community, because we need to get a handle on retail theft and make sure that folks are getting the help that they need.
That's Prop 36, which is on the November ballot. A lot of Democrats do not support it, but polls show that voters overwhelmingly do. So what do you see as the key, most important single difference between you and Mike Garcia, and what that means for voters if you get in there instead of him?
Well, I'll give you three. So number one, I am strongly in favor of a woman's right to control her own body. I would vote for codifying Roe v. Wade. My opponent co-sponsored the national abortion ban, not once but 2 times.
And just to clarify, codifying Roe v. Wade basically means a national right to an abortion, so everybody gets to have an abortion in every state as compared to a states' rights issue.
We need to protect that right in our country, and we will do that if we have the Democratic majority. We also need to protect Social Security and Medicare. Mike Garcia's budget would attack Social Security and privatize Medicare. And really, the third thing is I want to make sure that we're protecting wildfires. And right now we have a guy who thinks that there's no connection between wildfires and global warming, and that's dangerous for our community.
George Whitesides, thanks so much for coming on and sharing your views. We really appreciate it. Congressman Garcia will be here on Monday night to rebut a lot of that. He may give a little bit of a different perspective on him. Thank you so much. Good luck out on the campaign trail. Marla.